Hey guys, it's Senpai here and welcome to another part in my Krunker map making tutorial series. In today's video, we will be looking at grouping and importing prefabs, so let's get right into it. Okay, starting off with grouping. Grouping is an easy way to clump a bunch of objects together. There are several reasons to do this, including moving lots of objects together, deleting lots of objects easily, or exporting prefabs and assets. Anyways, to make a group, first you have to select an object, and this could be anything, but a good object to use is a placeholder. Press P to create one, and stretch it over everything you want to select. When you create the group, it will select everything that touches the placeholder, even the tiniest bit. So make sure you're not touching anything you don't want to select. Anyways, once you've scaled the object to encompass or touch everything you want to select, you can go to Object, Group, and Create. Or you can press Shift and G. Shift and G is the shortcut for create or remove group, and it's rather useful. The other way to create a group is a bit easier, and that is with group selection. In the top left, there is a little button that toggles group selection on and off. When group selection is on, any objects you click will be added to your selection. When you turn it off, it will automatically group all those objects. This is super useful for when you only want a few objects and don't want to accidentally select half of your map. Anyways, now you should have a group. You can move this around or delete it, but make sure you do not rotate it, because just like with rotating normal objects, the hitboxes will not go with it. Groups are an incredibly useful tool to have in your back pocket for when you need it. Anyways, moving on to prefabs or assets. Prefabs are basically pre-built stuff that come in a group. There are two ways of getting prefabs into your maps. The first one is through the custom objects list. Go to object and then click custom. This will pop up a window where you can browse the custom assets, and you can also search for specific ones too. You can tell which ones are prefabs by the little text in the top right. If you just click on a prefab, it will import it to your map already grouped. From here, it acts just like a normal group. You can move it around, delete it, whatever you want. That pretty much covers importing prefabs from the custom button. Now let's move on to importing them from a file. First, you have to get an asset file, and you're probably wondering where to get that. Well, a great place is the asset gallery channel in the MMOK Discord server. Not very many people post assets here anymore, at least since the custom asset page was added, but there are still tons of old assets that are very useful if you need them. You can search in the asset gallery by typing in:"asset gallery and then search for what you want. Here it will show you all of the assets by your search term, and you can jump to it and then download the actual file. There are a lot of assets here, so you'll probably find what you're looking for. Anyways, once you find an asset that you want to put in your map, you can download the text file. Now go back into the editor and make a new object, because the prefab has to have something to replace. Then go to Object, Group, Prefab, Import, and either JSON or file. File is usually easier, but sometimes you just have the actual text, and that's when you would use JSON. So now if you click on file, you can select the asset and it will automatically import into your map. Keep in mind that you have to have an object selected for it to replace. If you're getting an error, it's probably because you didn't have an object. Okay, that's it for importing assets. Now let's move on to exporting them. It's really not too hard. All you have to do is obviously make the asset, and then you need to group it together. Make sure you have just the asset selected, and then go to Object, Group, Prefab, Export. That should export your group as a text file once you give it a name. You can use the method I just described to import it into another map or give it to someone else. In another video, I will cover how to upload assets to the custom asset page for everyone. But anyways, that's about it for groups and prefabs. If this video helped, leave a like and make sure to subscribe to see more content like this. Don't forget to join the MMOK Discord if you have any questions. But now let's move on to the next part of the series. Bye!